We owe it to Noel, and we will not stop working for justice for him.
Remains found in the search for a 6-year-old little boy from Everman. What we know about the discovery.
Well, I'm just ready to get my name cleared.
The Johnson County Sheriff back in court, the latest after he fired a deputy who cooperated with investigators.
90s in the forecast for the weekend and a little bit of rain. The 14-day outlook coming up.
This $20 million project here in Frisco's Rail District won't be done in time for FIFA World Cup, why the city says there were delays, and also how businesses in the area are preparing.
Plus, a sneak peek at how AT&T Stadium is being transformed for the World Cup.
We have an update on the breaking news we've been following all day. Authorities have found human remains at a home in Tarrant County.
This comes after days of combing through the dirt, searching for a little boy who's been missing since 2002.
Brittany Costello is in Everman tonight with new information on a search we've been following for years.
After days of digging and years of investigating, police have made a discovery in the case of missing 6-year-old Noel Rodriguez Alvarez.
I want to begin by acknowledging the weight of this moment.
Investigators found human remains in the backyard of a home in Everman where Noel lived with his family. The little boy had special needs. Investigators say he was abused and malnourished and last seen alive in 2022.
I hope it's that little boy so they can get some closure for that young man.
While the remains have not been identified, Tarrant County District Attorney Phil Sorrells says this could be a huge step toward justice.
Noel was a child whose life mattered. We will not forget him, and we will not stop working for justice for him.
The boy's mother, Cindy Rodriguez Singh, is charged with Noel's death. She fled the country with her husband and children after it was reported her son was missing. She was brought back to the U.S. last year.
I would love to see justice.
Mike Ford's family has lived down the street for more than 50 years.
To be buried like garbage and to be forgotten, that is sad.
The remains are with the Tarrant County Medical Examiner's Office for identification and forensic examination.
Our biggest priority right now is justice. And we have to be very careful about the comments that we put out and what we say that could interfere with that.
Cindy Rodriguez Singh is facing a capital murder charge in the death of her son. Last month, she was found incompetent to stand trial, but the Tarrant County District Attorney is confident she will be brought to justice and believes this new evidence will support that. In Everman, I'm Brittany Costello.
A man from North Texas convicted of killing a TCU professor is going to be executed tonight. The Supreme Court just lifted an order that put Edward Busby's execution on hold. He was convicted of suffocating Laura Lee Crane 22 years ago, but experts claim Busby has an intellectual disability. Assuming no other legal action is taken, he will be put to death tonight.
New tonight, Johnson County Sheriff Adam King back in court today as he faces several criminal charges. He made headlines yesterday for firing one of his top deputies. Scoop Jefferson was at the hearing today and spoke to King as he entered the courtroom.
Today's hearing here at the courthouse was packed full of pretrial motions. Sheriff Adam King arrived here with his wife by his side, sharing the impact the charges and the case is having on him and his family.
Well, I'm just ready to get my name cleared.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It's been a long saga.
It has. It has. We're ready for this to be over.
What has this done to your family?
Well, it's taken a toll on us.
A grand jury indicted Sheriff King on charges that include retaliation against a witness and official oppression tied to sexual harassment allegations. Sheriff King strongly denies those allegations. Pretrial motions in court included the DA asking the judge to find King in violation of his court order not to have direct or indirect contact with his alleged victims. This week, Sheriff King fired Chief Deputy James Salter after having someone contact him to attend an internal affairs investigation meeting, then fired him for not showing up. King's criminal trial was supposed to start next week, but the judge granted the DA a continuance because of new evidence in the case. The sheriff's attorney talked to us about the trial being moved to the end of June.
I feel good. The case needs to go to trial. It needs to get in front of a jury, and we're headed that way.
The district attorney who wanted the sheriff found insufficient for not following court orders declined comment after court today. And the attorney for Jim Salter, he also wanted the sheriff held accountable. Both sides will come back here June 22nd for King's trial. In Johnson County, I'm Scoop Jefferson.
The Supreme Court just ruled victims can sue the companies that arrange loads for trucking companies if they hire unsafe carriers involved in deadly crashes. The unanimous decision is being called a major win for crash victims, and it comes one day after WFAA examined what this case could mean for families seeking accountability from catastrophic semi-truck crashes. The court rejected arguments that federal law protects the companies from being sued. Senior investigative reporter Tanya Iser has extensively covered dangers in the trucking industry. You can watch her Blind Spot special streaming on demand on WFAA+.
Governor Greg Abbott is reigniting his push to create a new state prosecutor position. At an announcement in Austin, the governor said this office would go after criminals statewide. He argues some district attorneys don't do enough to pursue charges, and this new office could put more pressure on criminals.
What the state prosecutor is a force multiplier. We want to provide more resources, more capabilities, more personnel to ensure that finite resources will never be a limitation.
Texas Democrats are against the idea, arguing this would steal power from locally elected leaders and not make cities safer. The governor adds that local district attorneys should also be subject to impeachment if citizens don't think enough is being done. The legislature would need to pass a bill to create all of this. Lawmakers return for a new session in January. The Salvation Army is preparing to open a new facility that'll double how many people it can serve in Dallas. The organization celebrated the final structural beam to its new social services campus. Once it's complete, there will be multiple shelters, addiction recovery spaces, housing for victims of domestic violence, and a whole lot more.
When it is completed, it will be a beautiful park-type setting. And it will be the first park that some of our friends will not be thrown out of. That's a very, very big deal, and we appreciate that.
The hope is for the facility to start serving people next year.